John chapter 11 is about Jesus and his friend Lazarus, and who was, I think, a brother of Mary and Martha, who he's also friends with. He spent time with them. Well, Lazarus died, and Jesus didn't come right away. And they said, Jesus, you could have done this. You could have healed him, but he was dead several days. And Jesus used this time to teach people and say, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will never die, but live eternally. Jesus wept, and he was sad that Lazarus died, but he had the power to raise him from the dead, and he did. And again, the religious leaders were against Jesus for doing that. He had so much opposition from government, from family, from his fellow believers, from his own disciples. So I have some opposition this week, and it's no fun, but you gotta just keep following Christ and what he says. Like they say, don't doubt in the dark what God has shown you in the light. Press on, follow Christ. He rises people from the dead. Chapter 12, great chapter. Jesus gets his feet anointed by this woman. Very expensive, waste of money. But Jesus said this is a good thing. Someone tried to accuse him, why'd you spend money this way? And you could have given it to the poor. So there's always accusation and opposition. But Jesus had his triumphal entry, and that fulfills one of the many scriptures of the Old Testament, that he is the Christ. Some Jews came and said, we want to see Jesus. And there's a lot of people who want to know more about Jesus. Maybe not so much about religion here in Czech. Religion, they've had enough of that. But there's still a very big interest in Jesus. But Jesus said, a kernel of wheat or corn has to die before it produces more corn. So Jesus was saying that he has to die. He'll die, he'll go away, he'll send his spirit. More and more people will believe in him. But I think even us as Christians, we believe our old self dies, and we produce more and more good fruit, good works, maybe some more disciples who follow Christ. He said, I will be lifted up, and I will draw all men unto me. So Jesus was lifted up on a cross, and all around the world, even till today, people are, who is this man? And they're drawn to him, and many follow him. Jesus said, I am the light. Follow the light while you have an opportunity. And that applies today. Well, I have some friends' parents recently die, and they just didn't expect that at all. You can die at any time, whatever age. While you see the light, Jesus Christ, believe in him. Some even priests, some Jews believed in him, but they were afraid to tell anybody. They were afraid of what the Jews would do to him. So fear of man is a snag. It is a very bad thing. You can't follow Christ and fear man. Now, if they are going to kill you, you have to be wise and not get yourself killed, but fearing man's reaction in their eyes, not a good thing. So, chapter 13, Jesus is preparing for his death, and he has some time with the disciples, and he eats with them, and then God himself, the King of all, the most famous human, Jesus Christ, went and he washed the feet of the disciples. And that was significant. They were very dirty. That's what servants did. But Jesus said, if you want to be great, do this. Serve others. And if you want to be great, be the servant of all. He says, greatest commandment is love. This commandment I give you, love one another as I have loved you. Do this to one another. And so we need to serve people. And sometimes that's through physical things. Sometimes that's through listening, through time, through meeting their needs of loneliness. If they're struggling with money or struggling with nobody to help them through a tough time. Judas was pointed out by Jesus that somebody will, but the disciples didn't know who would deny him. Peter says, "I will never deny you," but he did, and so let us let our faith have effect on this world, doing good things out of love for Jesus, out of love for others. Let us perfect love, not just good Christianity. So much in the Gospel of John. It's such a rich writing. I read it many, many times a year.